Alright, test number 2. Hello everyone, and welcome again to a rehash of the stream that we tried to start earlier here on Access the Animus. My name is Marco, and I'm going to once again lead one of these streams here, and I'm joined by Sary, who's playing as usual with us, and it's her birthday today, so like I mentioned earlier, happy birthday, Sary. Today we're going to show you the Siege of Paris DLC. We're going to start from the beginning. The DLC is, if I'm not mistaken, is already available for the Season Pass owners, or will be available soon, while for everyone else it will be available starting tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna, like, the DLC starts when you get to Ravensthorpe. You're gonna get a letter from Ranvi, and she is saying that two new visitors have reached Ravensthorpe. They are a Viking and a Frenchman. The warrior is a girl named Toka, and they have already built a guest house in Ravensthorpe, and they seem to be pretty generous, maybe too much. Maybe they want something in return, or at least to gain Avar's trust. Today we're gonna stream. Actually, we are streaming on PS4. So if you are seeing some of the textures or all of the textures loading slowly, that's the reason why. We're not streaming on the Series X as we usually do. It's gonna be only for today. With the next stream, we're gonna go back to our standard system. But before we do that, like, we're gonna stream this one on the PS4. So yeah.
Are they raiders?
Now we're gonna get close to the to our new characters that will introduce the story and the DLC. As you can see, this is the PS4, and it takes quite some time to load everything. Hello, in the meantime, hello Red, hello Ray Vernon.
Is that everything? This feast has to be great.
Yes, it is our last chance.
Wolf-kissed.
Welcome to Ravensthorpe. I am Eivor, though you seem to know me already.
You are well known to us. I am Toka Sinriksdottir, and the Frankish boar with me is my advisor, Pierre. We are here on behalf of Siegfried of Francia, renowned warrior and leader of the Northmen there.
You look to be at home here already.
How could we not be? What you have done in this place is amazing. The guest house is a fitting addition. We have also brought new tastes for your long table from Francia. If it is drink you prefer, we have mulled wine.
Very generous. Some might say overly generous.
Consider it a token of goodwill from the hand of my uncle Siegfried. You know, clan to clan.
There'll be blood if any here heard I refuse to feast, so consider it accepted.
Yes, you honor us. Ravensthorpe reminds me of how Francia used to be. Given the chance, I would visit often.
You would be welcome. Yet you do not share your gifts for nothing. I await the boon you surely will ask of me.
Tales of your judgment prove true. You can teach me some of that wisdom over ale this day. Shall we begin?
So here we can choose. Well, this is a classic trigger to start the feast.
Let us see if these Frankish treats hold up to scrutiny.
Let us eat!
one can prefer ale to wine. Mon Dieu, it astounds me still. You Norse may have us Franks on the battlefield, but when it comes to drink, we stand unbeaten.
Sary, do you prefer ale or wine?
It will always be ale for my cup.
Ale?
It is not
Okay,
only the channel
okay.
that separates us, there is an entire sea of bad taste.
I want to show you something. In our travels throughout England, I have taken swords in raids and battles. This I took in a holmgang against 2 oafish brothers in East Anglia. Tis but a worn twig, but is still my favorite.
So, you have traveled to all corners of this land before arriving at Ravensthorpe. To what end?
I mean to entice you and others like you to join in the glorious raids along the River Seine.
Who have you talked with thus far?
Many. Jarl Hemminger, Guthrum, even Halfdan. Paris itself is set to be sieged. And after that, we will have amassed more riches than anyone in England has dared imagine.
Let me guess how many Jarls will join you in your Frankish raids and sieges. None.
They just fail to see the scale of the bounty we stand to plunder.
What do you really want, Toka?
Every word I have said is true. But there is something else. A new power is rising in Francia.
What kind of power?
The Frankish kingdoms have been united under one king, Charles the Fat. And with this combined strength, Charles has begun a slow march against the Norse villages there. He killed my father and wiped out my village.
I am sorry for your father and your village. We have our own troubles here in this land.
With Charles the Fat in power, those troubles will worsen. After his campaign in Francia, he will come for England. Charles will come for you and your clan. His armies multiply by the day. Real soldiers and cavalry, not like the Saxon farmhands and gillers in these parts.
If the Raven clan were to help you, what is it you would ask of us?
Our chieftain, Siegfried, prepares to siege Paris and make the Franks rethink their actions against we Norse. And our longships will grow heavy with treasure in the doing.
And that was
My
part
scouts
of the
attest to
introduction.
claims of Toka and her
We
people.
have more though.
But before now, I saw no reason to involve our clan.
You see reason now.
If the mad King Charles does have ambitions for England, we should act. The Siegfried you mentioned, he rallies the Norse there. Joining him could be our chance to
Also,
push
as you
back
might
against this new king.
Or
Here,
I could
this
meet
doesn't
this
really
Charles
seem to be
myself.
Randvi's voice
He will not
actor.
deal with me. I
Actress.
kill him.
This problem is bigger than one king.
Actually, it does
If we kill one,
seem like
another
vodka.
will rise. Were he murdered by a Norse from England, it could bring the Franks to our shores even sooner.
Then I'll be mindful of who I kill and who I ally with in Francia. Could be a stable king is the way to keep Ravensthorpe safe.
Let me see the sword. I wish to examine the ironwork.
No, I stole this, and it is mine.
Fine. If you will not show it to me, I will have to take it. Ready yourself, Pierre. I challenge you to a holmgang.
Enough! Toka, you came here looking for help with this new Frankish threat. The Raven clan will answer your call.
You will? You will! I promise you will not regret this. Find Pierre when you have prepared, and we will make for Francia at once.
Thank you.
And that was the second part of the introduction. We are almost set to go. In the meantime, hello everyone. Thanks for joining the stream while we are seeing a half-drunk Eivor. Welcome Jamie, James, Keshan,
I should have kept away.
Paula.
Toka said to
Lots of
find
you already
Claire
here.
when I'm ready to travel to
Um,
Francia.
The
I hope
DLC,
your head does not ache like mine. What a night. But we should leave
it
for
may
Francia
have
soon.
its estimators, but it also has like the DLC has also like some negative elements. I do agree. In the meantime, Sary is going to Pierre, so we can start if the talk. You're too drunk? Alright.
Pierre,
Ready to leave for Francia when you are.
So yes,
I am ready.
flying papers and cairns are back. I'm pretty sad, especially about the cairns, because I really I'm not a fan of the stone cairns, and there's like 4 in here. There were a lot already in the Ireland DLC. There's more here. The flying papers are not too bad, even though the parkour is what it is. And any trace of the Order of the Ancients, James, I'm gonna say no. So don't expect that. Don't raise your hopes, even though they were rumored to appear in the DLC. There's not gonna be anything like that. There's going to be a similar organization. It walks like the Templars, they talk like the Templars, but of course they're not. So there's like there is an organization called the Bellatores Dei, which is Latin for God's fighters, basically. And they do behave like the Order of the Ancients. They're similar to them. They wear a cross on their robes, but they're not Templars. So yeah, not really nice for hardcore fans here. This is a new organization that we only get to know now, and still. So yeah, we might, depending on how long the loading screens are, we might get to see one of the members of the Bellatores Dei soon, hopefully. But let's see the intro to Francia first.
Francia, the land of Charlemagne, and the bitter price of Ragnar, who sacked Paris for a fortune in silver and sorrow. Now a new king rises, uniting Franks against Norse in open battle and casting angry eyes toward England. I must stop this mad king from sending war across the sea. Already his armies assemble and crows gather again over Paris.
Welcome to Francia!
What? No sniveling emissary from King Charles to greet us.
Believe me, Wolf-Kissed, you will feel the warmth of his welcome soon enough.
So yeah, this is the introduction. It does show what Charles the Fat and his troops are doing to
We
the
all had
Vikings
a
that
part
are
in it.
that have recently gotten to Francia, and it's nice because like the perspective is pretty much subverted in that the Frankish troops are defending their homes, but like the point of view here is that of the Vikings. So the Franks are the bad ones, obviously,
It is. We are almost
and they
there.
are so bad
But we cannot take the longship around
that
Paris
they
as the
torture
Franks
and
bridges block
do
the
a
way.
lot of bad stuff to the Vikings. But still, we have some more dialogue here, and then I'll get back to all of your questions.
Our village is inland. We will take the horses from here. The others will follow on foot.
Is there danger of an ambush?
Not this close to the water, and not at night. Siegfried has done his work too well.
I will finish unloading the ship. You two go ahead.
Many thanks, Pierre.
And Eivor, there is something we should talk about when I arrive at Melun. Until then, ride safe.
Mount up.
Okay then.
The ride is not long.
So yeah,
How will I face Siegfried?
yes, Star Wars talk show. This time the DLC was made available for season
Back to
pass
England?
owners a bit sooner
stay for now.
than
Fine with me.
the other
Food and
players.
drink are better here.
So it was already made available today.
How will I face Siegfried? He
And
entrusted me to gather
and yes,
axes.
so
He wants me to lead one day.
we have
I
been
failed in
lucky to have
failure
some
was not all yours,
early
Siegfried.
access to the DLC
Dogs are
actually, so
busy
that's why
with
we
their
know a
own
bit
concerns.
more about what we're gonna show you
Just give me
and
strong ale
everything.
and a good
But
fight.
yeah, like
What
the
else
season pass owners should quote unquote should have
French
access to the
scouts.
DLC
They
already.
have been watching us closely of late.
Um,
What do
Frag
you
Tiger,
think
hello,
Siegfried has
welcome
not
to the
finished
stream.
his work yet.
Siegfried will not
Um,
be finished until there are no more Franks left to fight.
I don't know how we
Scouts
could
have been
help you.
gnawing
Like,
at our heels
are you
ever
talking about
since
your
Charles
Ubisoft
forced us
account?
from the north.
He pushes hard
You're
against your
blocked
people.
from logging
You might have to lead sooner
too
than you
frequently.
expect.
Maybe you should
I
wait a
may
bit
not be
and
the
then
best one to
try
do
and
it.
log in as well.
I see the longhouse. We are almost there.
Voyo is asking for involvement of the assassins hidden ones. I could briefly talk about that, but only if you guys in the chat are okay with me discussing the hidden ones in the DLC, because that's kind of like spoilers. So if you're not into that, we can obviously avoid discussing the presence of the hidden ones in the DLC and in Francia in general.
It is strange to be
In the
back
meantime,
after
we're
so
getting
long.
closer to the
I thought they
settlement
returned
that
with
the
an
Vikings are having in West Francia. Their leader is called Siegfried. We're gonna meet him pretty soon. And they are settled in the city of Melun. So there are 4 regions in the DLC. They're called Melunois, Amiénois, Evresin, and
We should find
Paris,
Siegfried.
Paris. And they basically mean the area of Evreux, that's Evresin. Melunois, it means the area or region of Melun.
You have returned.
And the
Well, then, well, I
Amiénois
hope.
is the
Are
region
the others
of
you brought
Amiens.
coming
So
behind?
those
I need
are
to find Siegfried.
3 cities.
Of course.
Well,
You will
they're
find him
not
where he
huge
always
cities,
is.
but
Ah,
they're
yes,
like
he will be at the burial grounds,
some of
staring
the
into the
biggest
mist.
villages.
It is where
And
he
then we
begins
have
transfers.
Paris, and Paris is a
This way.
huge city. And like it feels different from the ones in the main game in that it is pretty dense with its buildings. Like you can actually jump from roof to roof without touching the ground for quite some time. If we get there, we're gonna show you a bit of that. But again, before that, we have to do like the introduction
Our burial
here.
grounds. Sinrik, my father,
And if
lives
you,
there. with the
sorry,
others.
if you look
We should go.
over the bridge, we can see the burial mounds that the Vikings have created for all the warriors that have lost their lives, along with the Jarl of the Vikings who was called Siegfried. It's an actual historical character, and he is Toka's father in here. That's the lady that we have been talking to. So Siegfried was killed in the battles. So the leadership of the Vikings in Francia was moved to Siegfried, who is the character that we're gonna meet now, and is basically, like I said, the leader of the Vikings in here. And he has built a burial mound to his brother Siegfried.
Siegfried.
You
came, wolf-kissed. Good.
You knew it was me.
Pierre sent word ahead. Your axe will be a boon to us.
I heard your axe has been busy as well.
Yes, I've slain many on the open field with honor, as Odin intended.
It is our way.
But it is not their way. The Franks dragged our Jarl Sinric from his bed and gutted him like a coward. They did not even bury him, just left his body for the animals to take. I raised this mound for him.
You want me to join your side against these Franks?
There is no side. There's only blood debt, and vengeance, and Helheim for those I split with my axe.
And of course, it wouldn't be a stream and access the animals without a dog barking, our dog barking, so here we are. What is Eivor gonna tell Siegfried?
I am sorry for your sword, brother Siegfried. Odin himself will grant you your vengeance, but my first duty is to my own clan.
That is a fair saying when you are in England. You are in Francia now. Now we will feast, and I will tell you of my plans for Paris.
Alright, so this was the introduction to Siegfried, and as we have seen, the elk is representing his brother. So we saw like a toy that he put, that Siegfried put on his brother's burial mound. And the actual living elk that was walking there was like a symbolic representation of his brother. And as we can see on the flags and everything, there's like the design of an elk, which is again representing the Viking clan of Sinrich here, settled in Francia. Hello, Corin Dutch. Yes, you can play the DLC already if you own the season pass. For this time, Ubisoft decided to make it available a bit sooner for the season pass owners, while it will be globally available tomorrow for everyone else. Frag Tiger, the power level required for Francia, suggested, not required, suggested, I think it's 230 or 260. So it's like, you usually get that mid-game, like at half of the main game, basically. Maybe a bit more than half, towards the end. And now we have a new scene about the feast that they are holding after Eivor answered the call for support. 200. Thank you, Gebakken.
This is not just about silver, Toka.
He hates being disturbed while he eats.
You know, Ragnar returned with more than just silver.
More than silver? What was it? Swords, precious jewels, wine.
Stories of a dead saint defending Paris. Horik was so awed he freed the Christians and executed his raiders.
Really? That does not sound glorious.
Something happened and someone attacked.
Behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good to thee. Kill the heathens! Bring me Siegfried's head, and that one as well. Leave the stripling alive to tell of it.
The what?
Bishop England, this is a good night.
And it's time to finally fight
shit.
some of the Franks. So the character that we just saw is called Bishop Engelwin, and is basically one of the enemies that the Vikings are facing here, and especially Siegfried. He is a bishop that is holding a position in a church in Paris, and in this fight we can see some of the new enemy units. These are like oh no, you killed the horse as well. Very, very bad. So yeah. And so as I was mentioned, like the new enemies are actually fighting while staying on the horse. So like there's a light cavalry enemy and a heavy cavalry enemy as well. You killed all the horses as well.
I'm sorry.
Like the light cavalry is pretty okay to fight.
Where did Engelwin go?
Siegfried, wait! What did he say to you?
Toka, see to the wounded, and find the watch. They should have warned us of the attack.
I told you he doesn't like to be interrupted while eating.
We needed that soldier alive to question. Wild heart, level head.
Oh, I like that.
Where is Siegfried going?
My guess is to find that bishop, Engelwin. He hates him above all others. It was he who killed Cynric.
Yes, his sword brother and your father. I am sorry, Toka.
Nothing has changed. If anything, the attacks grow more frequent, as you see.
Randvi was right. I have to stop this before it reaches Ravensthorpe.
Unless you can convince their king to surrender, you may have to kill every soldier in Francia.
Will you convince Charles with words? Will you kill his soldiers?
I'm in a fighting mode tonight.
Okay, very well.
If we take Paris, many of their soldiers will die. Charles knows that. The threat of it will force him to negotiate.
That oath-breaking coward will never meet you. Even if he does, his word is worthless. Better to kill him.
The problem is bigger than one king, Toka. I must talk to him. It is what my clan expects.
You may
So
be
whatever
right,
you chose, you
but I
still
am not the
decide
one
to
you
go
will
and
have
talk to
convince in
Charles.
the end.
So the choice
If you
wasn't
kill
really a
Engelwin,
choice there.
Siegfried might be persuaded to help you find Charles.
You begin to think like a Jarl, Toka.
Twice our scouts followed Engelwin to the slums south of Paris. When you are ready, that is where Siegfried will be.
I'll meet Siegfried there, and return when Engelwin is dead. Then we will find Charles.
Okay then, a lot to process here. We have seen that Siegfried is very much a hot-blooded Viking, so he decides to go based on to do stuff based on his instinct rather than reasoning. Before we move on, let's talk to Pierre, because he is going to introduce a new kind of mission system that's called Rebel Missions. Let's have him introduce them, and then we can discuss them a bit.
Pierre, what is this about?
We have a shared interest. You in resisting Francia's north.
Those do not seem connected.
I am working with a rogue band of men and women across Francia who tire of the chaos Charles's rule brought. Their numbers are small. Few are foolish enough to resist well-equipped loyalist forces.
You do not believe in their cause.
I do not, but they do. This is where you come in. Help them, and you will have ample reward for your effort.
It is strange that you support them while believing their cause ill-fated.
What kind of monster would I be if I were to dash the hope they hold in their hearts? Anyway, there is profit to be made, and only a fool ignores that. What do you want to do?
Okay, so basically the rebel missions work similarly to the king contracts from Ireland, but this time you can only have one mission at a time, which can be pretty boring, honestly. And in this case, you can decide, you can have allies or like rebel support squads, as you can see in the lower left. And your allies can be either melee warriors or like ranged kind of warriors. And once you have completed the mission, you will always have to go back to the quest giver. This is another pretty negative element of this kind of missions, because you will have to fast travel a lot, and with old generation consoles, this can be pretty jarring, honestly. As we can see, we can choose different kind of missions. You can do there are some that are nearby, and those will give you a more limited amount of currency. We can see 150 plus 50 for each surviving ally. So that also incentivizes you to avoid your allies to be killed in action. As you can see, there's going to be a number of rebel locations in the map. This is the map for West Francia. As you go on and explore, there's going to be more rebel locations. So when you have completed a mission, you can go back to any of those. But still, the mission is not completed until you go to them. So yeah, they are. And through this system, there's a currency that you gain, and Pierre has this kind of store where you have to redeem the currency, and that will allow you to obtain the Reaper set, which is basically an assassin stats kind of set that will basically make you look like the Grim Reaper, especially if you obtain some of the sides, new kind of weapons that are available in the DLC as well. So you can play into that kind of fantasy. But yeah, as Sary I think is trying to do, we're gonna follow up with the story. If our horse gets here. As you can see, starting a DLC, you will already have a different hood, a different cape and cloak. It's this dark red one. It's called a Frankish cloak, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't have any particular effect, but it's pretty nice, and you can upgrade it. It can have like a different visuals. It turns black if you upgrade it to gold. And it's kind of like an introductory kind of item that makes you feel a bit more in Francia, basically. So we are traveling to Paris because that's where we have to find Engelwin, who is the bishop that we met earlier. And as we can see, Paris is like a district of its own. It's the same as it was for Dublin in the Wrath of the Druids DLC. So as we can see, there's a lot of machines and catapults that were taken here by the Vikings, who are preparing and staging the siege to gain control of Paris, or at least to convince Charles the Fat to give them silver and money and the classic stuff that Vikings are asking for. These are tents. They are part of the Viking settlements, but at the same time we're getting closer and closer to the slums. Paris has different districts, not in the classic way you would expect from AC, but as we can see in the south here, they do indeed have like they are slums. They are like lesser, less advanced kind of like housings, and there's tents, and there are like waning and fading houses. Some are burnt as well. You could try and use Eagle Vision. You might see him. There you go. It's there. Possibly. Oh, you have to go there. In the this, if I'm not mistaken, this should introduce us to the rats mechanics in the DLC. Because Siegfried is actually hiding in here, and we're gonna have to talk to him. But before doing that, we will have like rat swarms around us, and they can be used to our advantage, but we also have to protect ourselves from. If you have played Dishonored or A Plague Tale, they will feel very familiar, very similar in that regard. But you can just try and hit them to make them run away. Very Viking way to convince them. We're gonna talk to Siegfried and then go back to your questions. Hello, Stefan.
Where's Toka?
Welcome to the stream.
I guessed you would be here. She's still at Melle looking for your missing watch.
I lost Engelwin, but this soldier told me he is heading for the church nearby. Come, we can go through the slums. Even from here I can smell the piss of the slums.
Siegfried, I mean to stop this fight from coming to England. I must meet with Charles.
For what? You cannot bargain with these thralls. Have you forgotten my fallen brother, Cynric?
No.
Look at how agile is Siegfried. Like, his animation looks very nice, but also he feels very light and nimble when he's walking. Absolutely not heavy, not funny at all. Absolutely, I'm not keeping myself. Gebakken is asking, where can we find the one-handed swords? I know the Joyers, but not the others. Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil where you can find the Joyers, because that's tied to a specific quest and location, as you mentioned. But, well, I'm gonna answer later, because we have like an introduction scene to the Black Box mission now.
In our veins runs the blood of holy kings and conquerors. The Northerners may have numbers, but we have God.
That is Odo, Count of Paris and right-hand man to the king. Drumming up support for his army, no doubt.
Our courage and honor will not fail us, no matter how hot the fight. We will overcome this evil, as we always have.
Self-important as always. The one next to him is Gosselin, Bishop of Paris and a fearsome warrior. Before Frank. Those two are for another day. You have to get to Engelwin, and to do that, you have to find your way into the church. The answer is down there in that stink.
That is not much to go on.
If it was easy, I would have killed him myself already. You have an advantage. You are unknown to these people.
The Raider Siegfried is almost at our gates. And what does he want? What the Northerners always want. Blood and silver. Yours and mine.
Me, they know quite well already. Someone down there knows something. All you have to do is get them to tell you.
I have your word. Once this is done, we find Charles.
As you say, but work fast. I cannot leave Miller unguarded long. This Frankish stench already turns my stomach. Three guards. Insulting. I will deal with them while you find Engelwin. He is hiding in his church. Will you sneak in, convince one of his own to aid you, or cover the streets with blood?
As you would.
They deserve no less. But you are the wolf-kissed. You do not need my advice. So what will you do?
I will find my own way.
And this was the introduction to the black box missions making a comeback in Assassin's Creed after being all the rage in Assassin's Creed Unity and Syndicate. Now they are called Infiltration missions, but basically they are a very similar concept that has been a bit elaborated. Maybe we can turn to the day instead of the night, because the lighting is pretty nice, especially rather than in Paris. It's very good, especially outside. But yeah, yes, 7 years after Unity, we finally have people speaking with French accents in France. Yes, I get what you mean. I'm pretty happy as well about this. So yeah, we're gonna test this this infiltration / black box mission. It's gonna take us at least around 20 to 40 minutes to do, based on all the opportunities that we're gonna try and see. So now, as it happened with Unity, we're given the name of the target. We know that he's somewhere there, and we need to find a way to get inside the church where he's lurking, and we need to find information in order to get in there. And as it is classic for AC and in general, you get to find the information at the local tavern, obviously.
Bread or coin?
Are you the owner?
Owner? That's such a naively hopeful word. What can I get you?
I think you can ask both of them.
You have a good crowd. If you mean tables of soldiers drowning themselves in wine at my expense, then yes, it's good enough. It might be better if not for that old drunk over there, crying about the bishop to everyone who listened. I'd send him away, but to be honest, I need his business.
I need to find the bishop.
The bishop? I can tell you he's not in this mud pit, my friend. He wouldn't risk soiling his holy sandals. There is a priest who does the bishop's numbers in here at times. Last I saw, he was talking to a table of soldiers.
By the way, it's improper to call her French
you look
woman.
The kind
She
that
should be
enjoys
Frankish
a good
woman.
complaint. You'll be back.
Because nitpicking is what we do at Access the Animus. So yeah, this dialogue with the French woman introduced like two potential infiltration opportunities that we can find and spot here directly in the tavern. As we can see in the top left, there's both a drunk man that is complaining about the bishop, but also there are soldiers, as we can hear, they are complaining, and they should, oh, they are there. I'm not sure if they were there before. So you can get to read a document, possibly talk to them.
I could look for the scribe at the Plague District.
Okay, so basically, I will sum up this. Basically, there's a document that mentions that there is a scribe that basically the soldiers are hunting because it seems like he's meddling with the bishop's affairs, and so maybe this scribe might know how to access the church. And in fact, as we can see now, the scribe knows a watchword to enter the church. But also we can talk to the tavern drunk.
He took her, my daughter. She's gone. She's a good girl. Never any trouble. She wouldn't steal anything.
Who took your daughter? Was it the bishop?
The bishop's soldiers in the slums. Said she stole the bishop's silver. Said she has the devil who needs deliverance. What did you say?
I will find your daughter here in the
Was
slums.
that is not really French.
She will
though.
help me find Engelwin. That is 2 good leads.
So yeah, we have 2 leads. One is like finding the girl, and the other one is to find the scribe. Oh, hello. Look at all of you. Hello, Mustakin. I'll go back to some of your comments while Sary chooses one of the leads. And actually, you can follow both of them. You don't have to. You can just choose one, or you can. I tried both of them. Like you can have both of them at the same time while doing the mission. At least in this case. Our Semperfi is asking, are there any connections whatsoever with Unity? I'm gonna say I played the DLC for 20 hours ish. I didn't see a lot of them other than, well, there's Paris. There isn't a direct connection.
The guards are heavily armed. I should be careful here.
What are we gonna do here?
Where's the man tasked with the other matter?
They have not returned yet, Father.
What? It has been hours. If they are in or comes at the tavern again, it will be there. See, they report to me as soon as they return. The bishop's very keen to know the matter has been dealt with. Now back to your duties.
The church appears closed.
It's the plague. We're still receiving tithes, however. God will receive your offering to Northerner.
There must be a way I can get in.
Only those on urgent business for the bishop may pass.
I could be on such business.
If you were, you'd have mentioned the watchword. But you haven't, so you aren't. Come back once the plague is past.
Okay, so it's not time yet to come here. But this is also telling us that this is where we have to go once we know the watchword. If we are able to find the scribe. Well, in the meantime, close to here, I think we can find the girl, the drunk's daughter. So back to Semperfi's question. I haven't seen a lot of visible connections to Unity, but like we have met the character of Pierre, and his voice actor really looks like it's Arno's voice actor. So it's not a story or Easter egg kind of connection, but it is something. Other than that, I haven't spotted a lot of stuff in here, but maybe I might have still missed those. It's still an open world. There are some locations that are pretty interesting. And you died, Sary. What happened? Do we still have the nightmarish level scaling option? I wonder. Maybe. Hey Maz, welcome to the stream. Gebakken is saying I accidentally killed the guy who wants the code word. Yeah. It might be ideal not to do that. How big is Francia's map? Is it bigger than England? No. This is a DLC. So no. And in fact, it's not the entirety of Francia. It is West Francia, and it has 4 regions, one of which is like the main city, Paris. So you could consider this to be as big as 2 to 3 of the main regions of England-ish. It's slightly smaller than Ireland, from the Ireland DLC. So yeah, that's more or less to answer your question. But Paris really feel interesting to move in and to look at, especially, well, each district has its feel, even if it's just a tinier version than the huge city that we have in Unity, of course. But still. You could use the abilities, or you could... You can't see the ability. Oh, maybe because we still have to trigger the interface. We have to, I think, to adapt a bit the HUD in options. No, go. All of this has to be turned on. And yeah, this is my fault, because like if you have been following our channel recently, all of this, we have shared a video showing all the areas in the DLC, and I remove all the HUD so that we could enjoy a bit more the environments, and that's why we didn't have a lot of like prompts in the in here. And now they spotted you. And I think yes, we still have the huge level scaling option. But it's not too bad. In the meantime, yes, the rats are creepy, is saying replay. Yeah, they can feel like that, especially if you personally don't like rats in general. So, but at the same time, you can use them as well. Careful. You can use them as well because there's you can in the game, in the DLC, you can find an ability called Plague of Rats, where you are actually triggering the rats against enemies. Go, 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 go. You can make it. Good job. Good job, Sary. So now we can free the drunkard's daughter. Let's see what we can do from there. Remember, this is still part of the black box mission, even though it's like a black box quest, but the infiltration part is not there yet. Like, we are actually doing the classic tasks of an assassin. So this is one of the main positives of the DLC, I would say, because like you do feel like an assassin, like you are going around the city, studying the environment, getting to know your surroundings through the locals, in order to find a way to get inside a location and then kill the target. This feels very assassiny.
That was close.
I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
To be honest.
Your father told me the bishop took you.
Well, we have
My father?
more dog bars.
Yeah, the bishop's soldiers. I didn't steal nothing neither. Then they wanted to give me deliverance.
You stole from the bishop. That was bold.
I just said I didn't I? Well, I didn't take no silver. It was just a little church key.
I want that key.
So did the soldiers, but you are too late. I sold it to bandits in the sewers. They got it cheap too.
My reward for helping you is to fight bandits.
These are the perks of living in the
Good
countryside,
luck.
apparently.
The sewers stink. I have to get to my father before he is thrown out of the tavern again.
Will they conclude the story of Odin and Loki? Is asking Semper-Fi. Not in the Francia DLC. And here we are with a different kind of dog, which could be a Breton. Boucheron.
I don't know.
Sary is a vet, so she might know.
Yeah.
But not really, who knows. So yeah, basically we have to go into the sewers, and find the bandits that basically got from the girl the key to actually access the area surrounding the church. The dogs want to play the DLC too. Yes, absolutely. All the dogs in here, not just not just ours, but also all the dogs of the neighbors here on the left. Go back. Put back there. Careful about the bats. Okay.
Rats are small, but their teeth are sharp.
So as usual, you have to hit them, but hit them while you're directing them towards one of the holes where they can hide, or you can just avoid them. That's also an option. Careful.
Why must we guard this stuff and they get to go? Oh, I'm tired of the stink.
We are new, what do you think? That key and the other stuff is worth a fortune. It cannot just be left unguarded.
Well, I better get up top tomorrow. I've forgotten
You
what
can
fresh
kill
everything
him from the
smells like.
cover. Nice. Can you do that on the other side as well? Come on, come on. There we go. As you can see, like this feels very Assassinating. Like you are doing your own thing on your own. You have to find a way to get inside this location that we still have to see. That's why I meant that I mentioned that it's going to take us a while to get in. And you have to be stealthy, possibly. Of course, you can go guns blazing, but it might not always be the proper option. Sary chose to poison them. They saw you, probably. But you poisoned them anyway. Look at all the that poison building up. And he's gonna die soon. So all in all, it was a good strategy. What's the golden glow around the character model? I have no idea. I think it's been added with the recent patch. It might be connected to one of the skills. When you are recovering your health or when you are in specific conditions. I'm not really sure here. But yeah, it's been added with the skills that were introduced with the latest patch 1.3.0. So we have a document here. It's about a guy called the Rat King, who is basically a guy that you will see mentioned frequently in the documents in the sewers. And then we can find the key that was stolen from the little girl. So at this point we can decide either to go with the key already to our target or to find the scribe in order to find the watchword that will allow us to enter. I'm gonna spoil a bit here. If you get the key, the guards inside, they will probably still look at you with the evil eye and attack you on sight. While if you have the watchword, the guards will know that you are allowed to get in. So choosing different paths will also have different behaviors by the guards, which is also pretty cool in my opinion.
Sorry, we're closed down here. Try
It's
your luck
closed,
up there.
so nope. But this is the way to go back to the tavern. And from here we can decide to either go directly to the church or to follow the other path. We're gonna see what Sary chooses to do. In the meantime, if you guys have any kind of question concerning the DLC, but also anything else about the game, please write that in the comments. Would be very happy to help you with any doubt you might have about the game or the DLC or anything like that. As you can see, all the area is fenced, but here we have the door. Oh, yeah, but also the key to the door. So it's an orange area, so it doesn't mean that they will actually attack you on sight. But if you are very close, they will attack you. And this is the, let's say, second part of the quest, of the infiltration quest, and this is the actual infiltration and black box kind of mission. Like, this is where you have to find opportunities in order to get there, and and the guard saw you, so will probably attack you. You could steal the key from them, but now that they're attacking you, I'm not sure what they can do. They open the door and they're following you. Yes, the Cairns are back. I'm sorry to tell you the news, Pojolan, as Gebakken said. Yeah, they're not too hard. I agree with that, but also, honestly, if they chose any other of the mechanics from the main game to be here instead of that, any kind of mini game, whatever, I would have preferred that to the Cairns. So yeah. Apparently they were either very easy or popular, I don't know, but like they are both in the Ireland DLC and the French one, apparently. So yeah, that's the guard that holds a key, and that key will be only one of the leads that we can have to get to our target. And again, even in this case, we can decide to choose more than one path, not just a single one. Careful, he's gonna go back to the door, I think. Yeah, I might ask the same thing. Why didn't they switch them to flighting? I honestly don't know. Well, you silenced him, in a way, and you got the key. I would have preferred flighting like 100 times more than this, but...
Did you hear that priest?
I mean...
He was talking about deliverance
They are
again.
always talking, usually about offering. You would think
So let's
God
see
himself was poor if you
which
listened to
road,
them.
which path
Don't say
Sary
such
will
things.
choose.
You'll be taken for a heretic.
There is
and sent
one
for
here that
deliverance
is very
yourself.
interesting, actually. As you can see, even here in the church, there are characters to talk to.
Are you
And
here for
let's-
deliverance?
Yes.
Back to the
I don't
Frenchman.
know. I want to be close to God, but those screams don't seem right. Does it seem right to you?
Your deliverance ritual. Is it with Engelwin?
Yes. He does it alone. I'm next in line, and I don't think I want this.
I could take your place and see Engelwin for you. Then you could leave. Tell me what I must do.
You need a robe. They won't let you in without their special robe. Then, you go down the corridor and talk to the priest.
Give me a robe.
My robe? But they gave me one, but I didn't put it on. I left it somewhere around here.
I'll find it and take your place. You should leave now before they call for you.
Yes. Yes, you're right. As soon as my nerves settle, I'll go. It can't be right.
And there you
Bishop
go.
Engelwin
As you can see,
anything
we
about this.
unlocked an assassination
Why else
event.
is-
So basically this means like every black box or infiltration mission has a specific and special assassination that you can unlock if you follow a specific path. In this case, as we can see, through this black box mission, we can also obtain an equipment. And in this case, in order to participate in the ritual, you need to wear the so-called Bellator's Day cloak, Bellator's robe, which we'll wear right now. And as you can see, even in the description is saying that it will allow to enter. And as we can see, it's one of the rare purple/violet cloaks. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. Not a lot of items to match with the torso equipment, but there's still a few here and there. And we can talk to this guy as well.
Do you know where he is?
Even though he's the brother of the guy that is upstairs.
My brother has been upstairs waiting.
As you can see, there are monks here because the guards were looking at you with the evil eye. But now that we have the Bellator's robe, we can actually try and infiltrate and reach our target. Especially because basically all the initiates that have to participate in this ritual called deliverance or the deliverance, basically they will have to wear this kind of cloak. So basically Eivor is let's say
I see you are ready
is
for the ritual.
faking to say that she's one of the
Prepare your heart,
initiates,
when you are ready, enter through
and
the
so all the various
The bishop is waiting for
friars and priests are allowing her to get in, and they are not asking any further questions because they believe that she's one of the initiates.
Covered. If you see me.
Justice and innocence are both blind.
But again, before going there,
find them, light the way,
we still have to
and
do
see
something.
the treasures of God. God is light, and in him is
God
no
is
darkness
light.
at all. The way through darkness to your deliverance is clear when it is lit by God.
It is a riddle.
Deliverance is clear when it's lit by God. So what we have to do is to light the braziers here. And once we do that,
Justice and
the
innocence
path
light the way.
will be opened.
Without them, we are
think.
blind. Naked
go.
you came from your mother's womb.
And now
naked you will return.
we are
Enter here
at the
alive,
last stretch.
naked and alone.
In the meantime, Pascal, yes, you can find the Rat King in the DLC, but it's not... I'm trying not to spoil it here. You don't find him directly. Like, you find part of him. It's part of a world event in Paris, in the sewers. So yes, I'm trying not to spoil that to you. So as we can see, that green pointer is where we have to go to do the special assassination. It doesn't mean that we have to do that. We can just go there and kill the bishop. But if we do the special one, there's going to be a cinematic tied to it. So we can even just try and avoid the guards, like by... I suggest going back, Sary. What I did when I played was like hiding in the grass and then going in the pool in there when the guard is not looking. So now you can hide here. In the meantime, they are lashing some of the initiates here and there, I think. Yeah, no further detail needed. Okay. And then you can go slowly to here. Like the bishop is saying, you have to get in the water. You are in the water.
We cannot
and then you
begin
have to interact.
until you are
Like the
cleansed.
bishop is recognizing you as one of the initiates. And here is the special
Come.
assassination
Do you
scene.
know why you are here, child?
Yes.
You have been chosen for a great honor. Yet being chosen is only the beginning.
Bear in mind that
What we do
not
now
doing
won't
the
be
special
possible.
assassination scene, you would
Remember,
miss all of this.
The Lord has said, unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required.
Yes, I remember.
Others showed themselves unworthy, as you have seen. My hope is you will fare better.
I will.
Your confidence speaks well of you. Once we begin, we cannot stop. I will not heed your cries. Your soul depends on it. The devil will not endure the pain, so you must. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
We may discover in the pain there is a delicious pleasure. God himself grants it as a mercy to aid us in the struggle. Now, make yourself ready. This robe. And do not leave the pool until I grant you leave.
I am to be unclothed.
Do not be concerned for modesty. Once you comply, my gods will leave, and we will be alone for the ritual.
What we will do. Let Sary choose.
Very well.
Okay.
Guards,
Let's play
leave
and
us.
follow the bishop's requirements.
Very good. You have made the correct choice. And now, we will begin. Accept, I beseech thee, this free will offering, O Lord.
There we go.
Your offering is accepted.
The offering is accepted. And as you saw, this is like a very cinematic kind of special assassination. I really loved it when I saw it the first time. It really feels like you are an assassin, like doing an infiltration, hiding, cloaking yourself in the dark and everything. And then, after you've done all of this, you can finally go to Engelwin's sanctum, which is like his personal... sorry, you can leave the sanctum and now you can go to his special room, like his own room. And that's where we can find some store information and also a new weapon. This is the story. We are seeing. Well, I'll let you read it while playing. But basically, we're seeing that like Engelwin is part of this group called the Bellatores Day, and they are trying to have an influence on Charles the Fat, who is the king in Francia. In fact, as we can see, can you please turn around the camera, Sary? Yeah, we can see the cross in the background, and like this cross and these purple kind of garments, they are an indication of the Bellatores Day. So every time you see a cross like that, is a reference to this new group of people. There are basically our antagonists in here, along with Charles the Fat. And they are trying to actually to have an influence on Charles the Fat. Now what we have to do is to like investigate the chambers of the bishop and find the clues to know what we have to do next. So we have found a document already.
Addressed to Charles and tells of the attack on Milan. It was to be sent this night to a brothel in the tavern. The king must be there now.
And from this letter that we found, we got to know that where Charles the Fat is located now, he is in a brothel in Paris.
This is a strange symbol. It must have some meaning.
This is a comment, of course, on the cross. And now the final thing is like this. The scythe. And it's called the Scythe of Revolt. So now we can equip that instead of our sword. It's there. It's like a huge weapon. It moves pretty much. Well, it has its move set, but it's kind of heavy. It's similar to heavy axes, kind of. Hello, Luis. Took me quite some time to answer to your comment. Welcome to the stream. So now we have our new weapon. We have a new cloak. We are set to meet Charles the Fat, and we can do that. So we can show you a bit of like the character that he has. I personally really enjoy like the work of his voice actor. Without spoiling too much, Charles the Fat is considered within the DLC but also I think historically as well. There are stories about him being somewhat mad, and that in the DLC he is portrayed having more than one personality, and I will leave it at that. And the voice actor here is doing an amazing job in representing the different personalities. Don't expect any First Civilization stuff tied to this, to these personalities. So don't raise your hopes up. But still, the work by the voice actor here is pretty good. Hey Total Gamer, welcome to the stream. That's one way to attract the attention of the innkeeper. So now we have to ask the tavern keeper if she knows that
I'm looking for some company.
Charles the Fat is around.
A strapping youth like you has appetites of equal measure, I'm sure. And any other time, I'd be happy to help.
Why not now?
It's locked off. A special visitor, you understand. You'll have to try your luck with the amateurs here.
Perhaps silver will help.
You know, it just might. You're not going to get in the front door. But as with most things in Paris, there's another way.
Go on.
That big tree outside the front door might be worth your attention. You didn't hear anything from me,
yes, I remember this.
Is any visitor really so important that you'll refuse honest custom?
That's a reasonable question, one which I can't answer for the sake of my head. Which is an answer of sorts, if you think on it.
I would really like to change your mind.
If your need is that great, you can try talking to the door guard. He's at the bottom of the stairs.
My thanks.
What are you doing?
So we can get outside the tavern under a big tree, and then we can find our access. It's already shown in the... There's an indicator there on your left. There. But yeah, there's like a huge tree. And once we are done with this part of the mission, we could go to the Hidden Ones Bureau if you guys are interested in seeing it. We don't want to spoil it for you if you guys are not, if you prefer to find it out for yourselves. But other than that, we are very close to that, to the Hidden Ones Bureau here. So after we are done with Charles, we could go there if you guys would like to see that.
A hidden entrance. Where does it lead?
Let us know. Let me know in the chat if you'd like to see the Hidden Ones Bureau. But in the meantime, let's go and look for Charles the Fat. As we can see, these are rooms for the well, the nice ladies of the brothel. So yeah, there are rooms where we can find information about how the brothel is managed. This is the guy that... Yeah, let's go on. I think we're close. We might be close. No? It's in the other room. Okay. Try and use some eagle vision, maybe. Interesting. I don't remember what he did when I played the first time. There we go. There.
Yes, holy
Slow.
queen. You are sinner and saint. My confessor and my lover. How I admire and desire you.
Okay, so Gebakan is saying that he'd rather not see the Hidden Ones Bureau, so okay, we can avoid that. Move on a bit with the story, and then we can do, maybe we can do some exploration of the various regions that are very nice to look at. A very pious king we are having here.
Are you real? Oh, what are you? Another Diablo?
Not an enemy, not yet. I am Eivor of the Raven Clan in England.
Flesh and blood. A northerner, by the look of you. Why do you disturb me? Where are my guards?
Your guards are not coming. Your bishop will not be joining us either.
Engelwin, you've done me a favor, Northerner, though you don't know it. That bishop was an unholy annoyance. What is it you want?
Your soldiers strike at Norse villages. Their attacks grow more common by the day. You make war against us, without cause.
Without cause? This is my land. A kingdom established by God. You are invaders and devils, a scourge I am called to cleanse. My cause is God himself.
we're gonna say now.
You claim your cause in the name of your god.
You're feisty.
We claim it by our own strength. Either way, those claims end in this land.
I begin to understand you, Diable. You don't care for Francia. You want clemency for England and for yourself.
I want you to stay in your own land.
You murder your way into another land. And you think to stop me driving you back out with negotiation? I am a king. You are a godless invader. Who are you to parley with me?
He's not wrong here.
I am one who might have killed you already, yet you live.
Perhaps this is opportune. What do you think? Could it work? It might work. There is something I require. If you accomplish it, I will be more open to consider your proposal.
A deal within a deal. How like a king. What is this task?
My queen, Richardis, has been taken. I want her returned to me.
I assume I must first find her.
My spies tell me she was taken by those belonging to a zealous faction within the church. I know nothing more.
You do not seem overly troubled by her absence.
Marriage for kings is more often a matter of politics than of the heart. In any case, I doubt she is in danger. And you can be certain I want her safe return.
If I do this, you'll agree to leave England in peace.
Peace? That's a strange word in the mouth of an invader. But again, you presume too much. Do this, and you will have earned a place at the negotiation table. Nothing more.
When we next meet, we'll be with your queen to discuss your ambitions for England.
As you say, Diable. God will make it so. Now, you must excuse me.
And that was our first encounter with Charles. And as the Halo mentioned, we're going into too much of a spoiler territory. He was, or he's right. Sorry if he left. But yes, now we're gonna go into more side activities and an exploration. So we can have a look at the other regions, or we can have a look at Paris in general. We have a lot to discover, to be honest. Good job, Frag Tiger, you got your account back. Took you 47 minutes. Not too bad. So yeah, we can see this is the part that, of Paris that we saw already earlier.
What are you doing?
It is a pretty interesting city, I believe, especially the northern part. This is the southern part, where with the slums and everything. But we have like a number of different locations that we can see, and as we are going up here, we are gonna have like the synchronization and see a bit of Paris, and we will see that it's pretty huge. Hello, Jeremy. I didn't get back to your comment. Thanks for following us and for being here for the second stream. Thanks for the compliments. They're always very, very appreciated, very much appreciated. And here we can see Paris in there in front of us. You could even fly with Sunin and see the city from up.
What do you see?
From a bit there. So the part that we can see here in between the river and the other parts of the city is called the Île de la Cité, which means the island of the city. It's still called like that, and that's where Notre Dame is located, even though we don't have Notre Dame here because it wasn't built yet. And this part is not accessible in the DLC apart from a specific sequence. And again, I'm not going to spoil that for you. But there's yeah. And there's a chunk of the city that is explorable only in a specific sequence. So when you go there, have a look around if you can, because you won't be able to go back to it later. Frag likes the blue flowers area in the map. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's also pretty far from here, but we could reach it. So it's like, can you zoom in there where you are? Pretty much. There should be a location called Le Bleu. It's not here, probably further down. In the meantime, we could go either to Amiens, which is there.
Here?
Yes, around there, where there is the photos, the green one. And if we go there, we're gonna see the fields of yellow flowers, not the blue ones. I think we're closer to them, even though they're still pretty far. And in the meantime, I'll go back to your comments. Yes, it was disturbing, the scene with Charles. Yes, it was pretty disturbing, but like, it's nothing new to the franchise, to be honest. Since Eivor traveled to Paris, I was hoping at least for something similar like the story mission from Finland is saying Semper Fi. I would say, what do you mean? Like, do you mean like a story that has some first civilization elements, or like a story where Eivor doesn't understand what is happening around her because they're talking a different language? That's what happened in the Vinland arc, and it was pretty interesting. Like, it's a different perspective when you don't get anything that the characters around you are saying. Frag Tiger, a moderator of our channel. It's not that big, especially for streams, to have moderators here yet. Maybe in the future. But like right now, especially the streams where like the two of us are running the streams, and they're pretty simple. We don't have a lot to do other than showing you the game and you know, having like a really heartfelt chat with you guys without making too big of a fuss around here. Look at all the Viking ships that are ready for the siege, I think. I didn't even remember this location. Sary is showing us all the stuff. Exploration? Yeah, exploration is Sary's territory. So we got to Amiens, which is one of the 4 regions in the game, and personally it's my favorite, because this here is where we get I think this is a raid location, maybe, or it's Amiens already. Like, as we can see, there are all these fields of yellow flowers, and they are pretty beautiful, especially when there's like the full light. Oh, this is Compendium, so yes, this is a raid location. And I think if you fly with Suning, you can actually see all the yellow fields around you. And in this region, like the lighting is pretty beautiful in my opinion. We are at dusk, I think, here, because it's been day for quite some time now. And as you can see in the distance, there are a lot of yellow fields, like proper countryside with farms and everything. And if you look enough, like close enough, you might also find donkeys, which are not present in the main game and in Ireland as well. I put it in the it's gonna take you quite some time if you're playing on PS4 like we are. If you're moving around with Sunin, it will take you a lot of time to go back to Eivor. What do raids even give? The raids in here are giving basically. It seems like they're giving the same resources than the main game's raids. Like they're giving the. I think they're actually called resources or raids resources. The ones you use for the buildings in the settlement. But if you have maxed out your settlement already, I don't know what you can do with those, honestly, because it's not like in Ireland. Like the resources in Ireland are useful for the trading system, while the resources here are there. I didn't find a use for them yet. Consider I already maxed out my settlement. More barking, of course. And this time it was only our dog, without the dogs in the neighborhood. She really wants to make her presence felt here. In the meantime, your Tiger, Frag Tiger is at 34 power level. Yeah, Gebakken is right. Even though there's still a huge major issue, story-wise, the DLC is again like the like Wrath of the Druids. It's implying that the story is happening at the same time. Oh no! The rats killed the horse. Was it your fault, Sary? Do you feel responsible? She does. I mean, so yeah, as I was saying, Siege of Paris and he's back to life. Siege of Paris is suffering the same issues as Wrath of the Druids. That historically it should be taking place some years after the ending of the main game, but at the same time, instead, the characters in the DLC are considering the story as if it's happening during the main game. If you were here at the beginning of the stream, we saw Toka mentioning Hemminger Jarl, who is a character that, spoiler alert, dies in the main game. And this is happening 8 years after the events of the main game. So there are some major inconsistencies like that. But even Eivor is believing in Valhalla in here as if she never actually experienced the ending of the game. But yeah, I still agree in suggesting to play this after you have played the main game, because it feels more apt for Eivor to do this kind of stuff. And especially there are some sequences, some spoilery sequences. I'm not gonna discuss what's happening in them, but they suit a more experienced Eivor rather than a recently arrived to England Eivor. And we have seen some red fields as well, so fields of red poppies. Is this a download you pay for? Yes. This is a paid DLC. I think you can buy it standalone, or it's also part of the season pass, of course. Hello, Assassin's Creed community. Welcome to the stream. You can't enter Ile de la Cité at the ending. No. You can do that in the sequence towards the end of the game, of the DLC. Oh, this is nice with the lighting and everything. But as far as I know, you cannot enter the Ile de la Cité in free roam after you're done with the game. you can go over there with Sunin, but you cannot access it. Like the bridges are closed, and there are fences that don't allow you to even climb the walls. So basically, let's say we could actually say that a third of the city is not available at the end of the DLC story, which is kind of, you know, not bad, but you know, it feels like you could do more parkour, more you know, navigation, which is, like I mentioned earlier, very enjoyable in Paris, even though the parkour is still pretty bad. But at the same time, you can actually jump from roof to roof and without landing on the ground for quite some time. Hello, Lagarde! Welcome to the stream! So nice to see you again. You're like an aficionado of our streams. As we can see, there are Roman ruins in here as well. It's not just because of history, but also because, of course, because of assets reusal. It was kind of expected. I've seen a few fans complaining about this, but I mean, it's how DLCs work. Expecting them to be all fresh and new would also mean that they would cost much more. Sorry? Yeah. You could go in there. I didn't even know about this entrance. I think this is an entrance into the Roman ruins, so that guards don't spot you. But this also shows that there are secret passages to many of the locations, if not all of them. Circle. Good job. Is there something in there? Are you playing on ultra high settings? No, consoles don't have a customization like that. Not that much, at least. Not as PCs. And it's a document. Oh, it's a book of knowledge. Oh yeah. Did you notice something? Can you please turn around? Look up. Oh, hello. So, okay, I'm gonna vaguely explain here. This is not the Hidden Ones Bureau, because we're not in Paris, but there is a quest line tied to the... Sorry?
I'll avoid that then.
Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna well, yeah, you could find a document with stories, so no. Yeah, let's just go. But, like, the quest line tied to the Hidden Ones Bureau in Paris will send you to 3 more locations, and those are loosely tied to the Hidden Ones as well. So, that's a slightly positive news in that there's not just one Assassini location, there's actually more than one, and I'll stop at that. In the meantime, in these locations you can find abilities like the Plague of Rats. So instead of, you know, running away from the rats, you can actually throw an arrow that can actually attract rats towards guards, and we will do it because Sary is super is in fighting mode today, so let's just go and have some rats. I'm doing well, Lagarde. I'm having fun here because, wow, you got spotted. We're having some fun here because, like, this is new, and we're happy to share all the information and visuals here. It's always nice to. Oh no, the battery is going. It's always nice to show some new stuff with you guys, and, you know, answer your questions and everything. Which DLC do you prefer, Ireland or Paris? That's a tough question. In terms of world, I would probably slightly prefer Francia because of the lighting, because it's always very dark and shady. Oh, there's a donkey! I love donkeys in the... It's sitting down, oh my god. Anyway, the lighting in the Ireland DLC was pretty... I mean, it's proper to the location. It's always dark and more like it's always raining and everything. Well, here we have much more lights in here. Don't go inside there. There's story spoilers in there, so I suggest not going there. In terms of story, I have my issues with both stories. Probably Francia is slightly better because at least it didn't get me mad over First Civilization kind of stuff. But at the same time, there's no First Civilization stuff in here, so that's a drawback. And also, I really hate how the DLC is considering itself as parallel to the main game while it's not. This is Maribon. I think that here you can find a sword. Might be wrong. No, it's not here. It's in another place. The most powerful weapon in the game is actually the Gay Bolg from Wrath of the Druids. Get back in, it's right. It's like super overpowered, like too much. If you're using that, is Sary. If you're having some issues with the combat, you can just use the Gay Bolg spear, and it's done. But it's better to show the weapons that you can acquire here. Oh right, you mentioned you wanted to use the Plague of Rats, but you're covered here from the wall. There, go. You don't have to hit them necessarily, but it still has to be close to them. So if they are stationary, you can try and hit them at their feet, and hope they're not running away, because sometimes they run away. There we go. As we can see, the rats are coming out, and they are getting him. They're not getting him. They're not getting him. Okay, that's pretty sad. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, using the ability will consume 1 stamina bar, so that's pretty sad. Yeah, Plague of Rats is pretty nice as a decoy. It's also a way to kill guards, especially if you don't get spotted. But it's also a way to like scare them while you can move around them in a stealth situation. Yes, I have issues with both DLC stories for different reasons though. Like I mentioned, like for like Ireland, the Ireland DLC, I had issues with the mythology part, and there's no mythology part in this one as well. So not only the Isu stuff, but also the mythology. There's no mythology in here. It's like full historical, which is nice to a degree, but also it's quite just, if we could say just historical. There's well, I'm not gonna go too much into what is here in terms of assassins and Templars, but I was kind of like disappointed in that regard, without spoiling that. I suggest you still like to try and follow the quest about the Hidden Ones Bureau. The ending of that is quite a feature, let's say, without spoiling it. So yeah, now you have 4 more, but like attempts at using the Plague of Rats. You could go at an elevated location, so it's better for you to aim. Or you could get spotted. That's also. Because like the thing is, if you get spotted, they're gonna move, and the rats are not gonna be effective. That's the issue. So I usually use them more in stealth situations. And to be honest, the ability is much more effective in its second grade, like with its upgrade, because with that, like the rats not only are going to kill their enemies, but they're also move from one enemy to another, and in that case, they're much more effective in terms of stealth. And also Gebakken is suggesting, and that's right, to not use it on the enemy, but on the ground underneath the enemy. It's going to be potentially problematic here because they're moving, but still. My expectation for this DLC is low when it comes to assassins and Templars. It's saying, like Trevor is saying. I must say, good job, good for you, Trevor. Not gonna say why, but in general, my approach I mean, it can be debatable, of course, but it's always to go with low expectations, and it's kind of like my approach in a lot of situations in life, also not just with AC. Even though AC has had me go with lower expectations many times, because with lower expectations you get way less disappointed, but also you feel less excited about stuff, so there's drawbacks in that regard as well.
He's an engineer. So
I'm an engineer, so underground, yeah, that's good, but the ability wasn't triggered. Oh yes, there we go, it worked, and he is dead. There we go, we made it. Good job, Sary. So would you say that engineers have always low expectations about life?
I don't know about engineers, I know about you.
And I do. So yes, now we have like a treasure to find. And also I suggest you, not you, Sary, but in general, when you're doing stealth situation, if you see the bags of flour, always try and hit them, because it will create like sort of like a smoke bomb or a smoke screen. And then there we have our tungsten ingot. I think, yeah, that's what I suggested earlier. This will allow you to move a bit more stealthier and not get spotted. You can hit them also with arrows, so from a distance, which is pretty cool. Alright, what are we gonna do now? Where are we? Okay. You could go... yeah, that is like a bog kind of area. So, not the most interesting one. You could go to... you could go to in the southwest. Oh, that was a nice concept art. I didn't see that. Can you push X so we can see it in full screen? Hello. Well, yeah, this is depicting a scene at the end of the DLC that is taking place in Amiens. Maybe we can go to Amiens and see the city.
Amiens?
Yeah, it's where the green... up. More, a bit more. There.
Here?
Yep. Should be around there, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of far, but in the meantime, we're going to explore the world. so you guys can see a bit more of how of the world map in here. Does the skill tree expand again, or are you able to just add points? No. With the... Hey Ashley, welcome to the stream. The answer is no-ish. In that the recent patch that was released before the DLC, it actually introduced a lot of nodes and a few more new skills to the skill tree. So in the beginning at least, you're gonna get skill points and not mastery points. As you can see in the top right in the screen, we have 4 skill points because we have a lot of new skill points and skill nodes that we can cover first. So before going back to the mastery points, adding to the main skills like bear, wolf and bird, you will have to gain around 20 skill points first, 25, something like that. Assassin's Creed community, what does the butterfly mean on the map? I think that's not a butterfly, but in general, those are the stations for the rebel missions. So basically, those are quest givers and quest completers. Like they are the places where you go to complete the rebel mission quests. But yeah, we don't have to because our quest was like it failed. In the meantime, we're still going to Amiens. Trevor. I would have loved to see any Thomas de Carneillon references. Well, it would have been nice to see some de Carneillon references because, like, Thomas, of course, lived in the, what was it, like 70? No, it was. No, it was like it was around this time, but no, there's no references. It's like a few hundred years after this time, but no, there's no Thomas de Carneillon references, and also no Sword of Eden. If there had been any references to that, it would have been vague, but in this case, I really don't want to raise your hopes, guys, because in this case the references to Unity are very, very limited, if non-existent, at least for what I've seen in the first 20 hours I spent playing this DLC. And in the meantime, Sary got to Amiens, I think. Maybe.
Let's go hooded here.
No, you got to Amphitheater. It's a location called Amphitheater, really?
I don't know, you sent me here.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you fly by? Can you fly by?
Have a look, Sunan.
This is Amiens. Oh, okay, so within Amiens, the location is the amphitheater. Okay, yeah. Yeah, oh, can you go up?
Yeah.
Where? I did, okay. Because, like, there is a road to get to Amiens, and it's pretty choreographed, how do you say, cinematic. Like, it's very nice to look at. So yeah. A positive answer to Ashley, a negative one to Trevor. There's no, not a lot of Unity references. I didn't find a lot, but I don't know if that compensates. But you can get a bear
I have to go.
as a mount in the DLC. So yeah, there's that. And there we go, our Ursa Major, which means the great bear in Latin. And as you can see, there's like a road that is sided with trees, and it's really nice if you're trying to go in the city of Amiens. In here, it's very choreographic. Not choreographic. What is it? Oh, it's nice to look at. I don't know English. I don't do English. Sorry. So yeah. we're gonna go with such a cloak of the bad guys riding a bear inside the city. No biggie, no problem. They already spotted you.
Wow, it's impossible not to see me. I'm riding a bear.
Yeah, honestly, that's true. The big building we're seeing in the distance is a well, you cannot access it now because it's part of the story, but like it's a building that belongs to Charles the Fat. And again, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. We can maybe go around. Maybe you could parkour a bit around here. Show. Well, this is no Paris, but I also believe that the cities in here allow for more parkour opportunities. Keep in mind, it's still the same parkour from the main game, but at least you can jump from place to place. This is a tavern that is pretty cool. Stuff happens in the story in this tavern as well, and it gives you like a nice view of the fields here and there. So to answer, like I do like this world a bit more because it's than the Ireland DLC, because it has better colors, better lighting. It is a bit more varied as well, and it also offers more verticality. And in this case, it's not the devs' quote-unquote fault for the Ireland DLC, because in Ireland there weren't buildings like this. There was like a different architecture, so you wouldn't expect like dense cities, apart from Dublin maybe. Other than that, the villages in there are different than towns like Amiens. And as you can see, you can go inside most of the buildings, if not all of them. And here we have like sort of like a church with a cloister here on the right, which is pretty nice. But there are also some guards in there outside here, which is pretty nice, honestly. Like, I really love this kind of buildings. Also in reality, we have one in our hometown. They are very relaxing places. Not for the guard here, who is not really relaxed. I mean, he's like forever relaxed. And that is it. The butterflies are the rebel missions. Yes, as I mentioned earlier. They are the new kind of like side missions in here that will allow you to get the Reaper set from the game. You will have to do like 30 of them, so they will feel a bit repetitive by the end of it. But if you want to get like the full Reaper set, you are going to be pretty much forced to do them. Paris feels like a mix between Winchester and London. I agree with that. And that's a perfect mix, in my opinion, because also an underutilized mix. I would have loved more assassination missions, even not just story missions, like just side missions where you have to kill a standard NPC among the roads of Paris. That would have been like freaking amazing. There's not a lot of them. It feels like Paris is not used enough. Actually, if they release the mission pack in Paris, I would like that. I would enjoy that. Without having necessarily story, not too much story at least. But like Paris in here is really an interesting playground. And if they made the Ile de la Cité available along with some missions, I would actually enjoy more time in that city. It's a very nice playground, honestly. as London and especially Winchester are in the main game. So yeah, here is one of the rebel mission stations. Maybe we can do one rebel mission and then we can wrap up, because it's been already a long time that we've been streaming, but we really wanted to show you the DLC and how it is. So yeah, it's gonna take, if you don't have a next generation console or PC, it's gonna take you a long time. Yes, this was the mission that we accepted at the beginning of the stream, and some of these missions, they have like a convoy of guards that you have to kill before they reach a location. So if you move on to other stuff, they will reach the location and you will feed the mission. Well, let's track this quest and do that. So they are very easy kind of questions to be kind of quests, to be honest. Yeah, that's the one. They very much, you have to either collect some hidden intel, like this case, or like kill a specific NPC, or kill a group of guards, and that is it basically. So you can imagine how having to do 30 of those after the 5th or 6th, they feel really, really repetitive, honestly. But there are also some contained playgrounds in a way, so if you want to try your stealth in this kind of missions, you can. In this case, for example, like collecting the hidden intel, usually this kind of information is protected by guards, so you can try your social stealth if the area allows for it, or you can try your assassin kind of stealth where you kill the guards and everything. But you can also go guns a-blazing or like swords a-blazing. Also, as you can see, there can be skirmishes around in the game world without you triggering them. This is, I think, bandits fighting the Frankish military troops, while you still well, Sary still has to go a bit further, and it's in this location. This location will be used so much by the rebel missions. You're gonna go to know, if you keep doing the rebel mission, you're going to know this location by heart. If I remember correctly, the intel is like in front of you, but you can also they spot you. Yeah, they spotted you, I think.
Howard, get back here.
Okay, so this is one way to do the missions. There is one way to make these a bit faster. It's that if you get spotted, you're gonna get full points and full currency if you go to, like, if you complete the objective before your allies die. So, Sary, I suggest you to go to the location. It should be in front of here. Try and use the Eagle Vision again. It's not here. Oh my god, where is it? One of our allies died. Okay. I thought I knew it by heart, but apparently I don't. There should be an intel prompt around here, but apparently that's not the case. Careful. Should cure yourself. Okay. Is that bugged? Yeah. Also, if you get spotted, okay, your ally died, so you could just run away. They should use some of these mission types from the Royal Demands and Rebels missions for the Red mission. Yes. Even also because they feel like if you actually go on and complete all the 25 to 30 missions, Rebel missions, they will feel like the daily missions in terms of repetitiveness. So at the same time, using this kind of mission types would vary a bit more the kind of missions that that Rita gives you. And Sary, as a final gift for you guys, has reached a place that you might know from Assassin's Creed Unity. Here we are in Saint Denis. And as you might remember, Saint Denis is the location for the Dead Kings DLC. As far as I know, there aren't any references to that as well. But yeah. So Saint Denis is in here as Crawley, which is a town that is mentioned in Syndicate. Crawley is also in the map of England in the main game, and we have Saint Denis here, as Saint Denis was one of the locations in the Dead Kings DLC for Unity. Lagarde is asking, we saw several big references leave the development team of AC like Darby McDevitt and Raphael Lacoste after the release of Valhalla. Don't you think that the departure of these two heavyweights will heavily impact the franchise in the future and that it will deteriorate? It's a I would say there's a non-zero chance for that to happen, but at the same time, I would also say that the games are not made only by a few people. They're always made by hundreds of people. Sure, this kind of devs, like with like these highly resounding names, they usually like imposed a direction that is that our devs followed, and they were like those directions that were pretty something that the fans really loved, but yeah, there's a chance that things might change in the future, but I guess we can still try and see what happens in the future. I'm actually sad that they left, because I was a huge fan of their work, both in terms of art and narrative. But that's life, I guess. And on that note, do you guys have any more questions? Feel free to ask. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap up the stream. It's been a long ride this time, but like I mentioned earlier, like we really wanted to show you a bit of the story. Yes, the I was really excited to show you the black box mission type, which is like my highlight of the DLC. It feels very Assassinating. And also, like, another high point in the DLC is the voice actor for Charles the Fat. So yeah. Okay, last question by Lagarde. Can we have your thoughts about the future AC game on mobile developed by Ubisoft China? I don't have a lot of thoughts because I don't know a lot of stuff about that game, to be honest. I know that Westerners like me are not usually used to the way in which games are developed in Asia, but I'm always willing to try, because like there's so many games developed in Asia that we don't know about, or we feel that they do not appeal to our taste, but sometimes you don't even spend enough time to learn those. In this case, I honestly don't know. I like some of the early concept art for the characters. They were amazing. If that game were set in China or Japan, I'd love that, because I'm always very interested in the Asian culture, and especially the Chinese and Japanese one. So I'd like to see that in a game. We have seen China already in the Shaojun games. I'm interested also in knowing what kind of game that will be. We're gonna wait and see, I guess. It's gonna take some more time. But yeah. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I think we can actually properly wrap up as we are sailing a lake here in Francia. Thank you guys so much for joining us in this stream. There were way more of you than usually we had in our previous streams, and I'm pretty happy. I'm actually happy we were able to show you the DLC, like a sort of like an exclusive view before the DLC is available for everyone tomorrow. So yeah, I suggest you guys try the DLC, see if you like it, and then come back to us in our comments and see what you liked and disliked, and tell us what you liked and disliked. I have some very strong opinions about some elements of the DLC. I'm gonna try and prep a video. It's not gonna be a story analysis. It's gonna be probably more of a commentary on the DLC in general. But yeah, it's gonna take some time. We have before we get to that video, we're gonna have a few more shorter ones in the coming days. But yes, so as usual, please get vaccinated if you can, and I can't wait to discuss the DLC with you guys in the comments. So thank you guys for joining us in the stream today. I hope you're gonna have like a nice evening, day, night, wherever you are. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.